So I'm on my second harvest of beans. I've only been through about 2 plants here. These are the dwarf beans. I've got a couple of different varieties. I can't think what they are. If I can think, I'll pop it on the screen. The first ones were supposed to be a pinky colour, and they're kind of like this. And then the other ones are just sort of dwarf beans. I've probably got about maybe 9 or 10 plants down here, but this is like the second harvest in, say, a week, so I really recommend just keep picking them because it encourages so much growth. And one thing I will just say, just check for yellowing of leaves, because anything that's kind of decaying, you know, potentially like here, this could encourage like slugs to come along. So basically, you know, just lift the plants up and just have a look. 'Cause I mean, they lay very low on the ground, so you get a lot of them just kind of draping on the ground. So you just pull them off. You can see there's loads under here. You can see all that. So yeah, you really do get a good harvest, and the seeds are so cheap. I mean, these seeds were just from Wilko, and I'm sure they were like 75p pound, something like that. And they've just been really healthy plants, and I mean, you can just see they're just constantly giving you a harvest. My peas over here, I did try and train them a little bit round because they were going a bit unruly, but I mean, again, second harvesting of peas, and still going strong. My poor sprouts over here got smothered in caterpillar. I mean, I have got a few more over there, the younger ones that I rescued. But yeah, I've snapped off a lot of the leaves on here because they were absolutely covered. And while I was down here, I didn't have anything to kind of, anything to sort of spray on them or anything. So I just kind of picked the caterpillars off and took a lot of the leaves off. But already I'm getting new growth. So I'm hoping that they'll, you know, grow back. It's my first time growing sprouts. I don't really know, to be honest. One thing I am really pleased with that I've never grown before are these little patty pan squash, which they look like a sort of flat version of a small pumpkin that are like a sort of pie. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. I've never grown them. I thought they might grow in a vine like some of those squash over there, but they actually grow on the plant a bit like a courgette. They're quite interesting, really. Like I've got another one here. And it's just interesting when you see things start to grow. Over here, just want to have a look and see how things are going so I can see what's what. This one I'm still kind of waiting to see what it's going to turn into. Oh, that broke off. See, this could have been the start of something. But there's another flower there, so just got to kind of wait and see what happens with it, really. I've got lots of male flowers on there. Just need another female so I can see what it's going to grow into. Just like to get rid of some of the old leaves as I go. This one I think is a butternut squash. Let's have a look. Again, lots of male flowers, but it hasn't yet got a female flower yet. And for anyone who doesn't know, the male flowers are the ones with the stem a bit like a flower. If it's a female flower, you will just have the stem where the actual vegetable starts to grow out of it, if that makes sense. So you don't get the kind of stem, you get the vegetable instead. I'm just waiting to see if there's anything going on here that I've missed, because sometimes they hide within the leaves, so it's really hard to see what's going on. Again, I love the colours of the corn on the cob as they begin to ripen, like these lovely burnt orangey red colours. And I'll just come along and show you. Does anyone remember these curry squashes that I've been growing? I totally recommend. If you want to grow a squash, you want something that just takes off and goes absolutely wild, These are amazing. They start off a very pale sort of yellow. Let me see if I can find one that I can compare with. They look like baubles on a Christmas tree because they just pop up all over the place. They start off this kind of colour, and then they gradually go sort of yellowy white, and then they get tones of orange in. And this all happens quite quickly. I mean, in the space of less than a week, they've gone this lovely orangey pumpkin colour. And when they're ready, I think they'll be like a darker orange. So we've got quite a few of these popping up all over the plot now. But I've also got some growing along here. So as you can see, this is how they start out. There's another one there. Let me see what else we've got growing here. This is all part of the fun of the growing, really, because you just don't know what you're going to end up with. Over here I've got my first little cucumber just there, growing on an outdoor cucumber plant. Oh, my first cosmos has come out. I grew these from seed. Look at that, such a beautiful colour. These are my nasturtiums, and then I've got these other little ones here. I love all the different colours. I just wanted to bring, you know, more wildlife into the plot, really, for the bees, and I don't think any other flowers have come out yet, but like I was saying with the weeding, I don't go around having a massive weeding spree. If I see something, I pick it out, because to be honest, when it's at this stage, you don't really get sort of loads of weeds popping out here, there and everywhere. You get little bits of things, but you know, the more you've got growing, the less space there is anyway. But yeah, I don't have time to come down for hours and hours weeding, and to be honest, you're probably wasting your time, because as soon as you get a decent amount of water, everything's just going to grow back. But as we go along, well, I have actually put a few seeds down here. There's a couple more squash here, as if I didn't have enough already. I just wanted to fill this little area. This is where I had onions all along here and potatoes. These are those little plants which, do you remember they were in little tiny fromage frais pots, and they just were crying out to be in the ground because everything else was kind of producing cucumbers, and these plants were so small. Well, there's a couple over here somewhere, and then the rest of them are here, and they're just starting to get their little flowers. And I mean, look at these tomatoes. They've got little tiny ones on, and the plant is, you know, a foot tall. Amazing what nature does. So anyway, I'm really pleased with those. The only problem is, as you can see over here, do you remember the sunflowers? Well, I did replant them, but they look very sad. I've been watering, and I mean, the thing is, because it's such a thick stalk, it's a lot of weight to pull back up. So I brought some plant food over, and I'm gonna give it a go and see if maybe they'll perk back up, because they were just starting to get their flowers, and it just seems such a shame, because obviously I had to get them out the polytunnel. But yeah, it just looks like it's kind of, I'll get rid of the dead leaves and just see if I can help it survive. But one of my other sunflowers is just about to open there, so that'll be nice, and all the others have got their flower buds, so that'll be nice. These were also some little lettuces that I rescued, as you can see. My mistake, these are cabbages, not lettuce. Now. I did plant them quite close together. It was more of a case of they need to be in the ground to survive, really, and I only had a small amount of space because I had all potatoes here. So basically I've just done what I could with the space, really. Here, runner beans have suddenly gone mad. I only had about 5 the other day, but now they're at the stage where they're growing amazingly. I just love the colour of these leaves too, so I shall be harvesting some of those in a minute. I've got a few more potatoes. There's a little tub over there, and then over here some of these I think might be ready, as they're kind of yellowing. Wasn't too impressed with garlic. It's my first time growing garlic, but I mean, I'm not sure what happened really. I planted quite a few and only 2 kind of took. One of them looks a bit like a garlic. One's a very small version. I'll hopefully have a bit more luck next year. Maybe it was where I planted them. But on another note, some onions and leeks coming up in here. So I like to just keep renewing the space. Every time I, pull something up, I like to have something else ready to either sow a seed or to plant in. What else is going on over here? Let's have a look. So some of these lettuce I've just left to go to seed because I had so many. It's quite hard to get through like massive lettuces and having storage. I think I need to get another fridge. So I've kind of let these go to seed. And then obviously I won't have to buy seeds. But the kale is doing amazing. Every now and again I have to keep cutting them back to make sure they don't go to seed, and to actually, I gave a load of it away because they get big quickly, but they are thriving. They are really doing well here. These are the broccolis that were just getting eaten to death, and for now this is the only way I can cover them up. I haven't got any more netting or anything, but they are doing alright. There's a lot of black aphids around, but I'm hoping our little ladybird friends are going to come and sort them out for me. But yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 5 broccoli plants there, so we'll have to see how they go. Just been going around deadheading my marigold plants. So I've pulled the flowers off, and as you can see, out of the end of the flower you get all these lovely little paintbrush type seeds that are basically just in the end of this flower. Here's one that's already started to dry out, and you have to be careful because as you pick them, if they're very dry, it will all just come out. I'm just going to show you. So I've just pulled all of these seeds out of this seed casing, and as you can see there's probably a few more in there. So I mean, you get absolutely thousands of seeds, so don't buy them, save your own. I've just finished harvesting my runner beans, a couple of different types of beans and some peas. This is in the space of a week, so I mean, if you have a decent amount of plants, just shows you like what you can get really. And then obviously these can be prepared and frozen or whatever, so they're a really good vegetable to grow for a great harvest. I mean, I've probably got about 9 runner bean plants, probably about 10 dwarf bean here, and this one over there. So I haven't got like a massive amount. The peas I've probably got about 6 to 8 plants there. I haven't had masses out of them, but it just goes to show like how much you can get like on a weekly basis, which is actually quite a lot of food. So I've just got some potatoes in this tub, which have gone a bit dead, so I'm hoping they're probably going to be ready by now. I'm not expecting masses, but even just a nice little bowl full. And this soil can be reused for something else. So that's the beauty of this, like, you know, you're unearthing a lot of things, but you can also use it for other plants once it's freed up. I don't think there's going to be a lot in here, to be honest. I think it probably could have done with a bit longer growing, but it's all an experiment. I mean, I thought it was done, but it's probably just lack of water. But never mind, these were just a few leftover ones that I had. Yeah, I've not really achieved a lot out of this one, which is my fault really for pulling them up too soon. But again, I'm just going to be used for something else, and we're going to go around the other side and pull up a few more other potato plants over there by the runner beans, because then that land can be used for something else as well. So this one, it's started producing the little sort of fruits, The leaves have gone yellow. It's finished flowering, so this one I should get a bit more of a harvest from. These were just ones that were popping up all over the plot, so I planted them sort of in spaces that I had. So I've got some along here. My main crop is still over there. I already pulled some up the other week along here and they were really nice. So let's give this a go. Straight away, see, they're a lovely peachy, pinky sort of colour. Somebody that had the plot before said they had some lovely potatoes. Oh, when you forget your tripod. Right, so I was just saying, I had some really nice potatoes on the plot, but these have just been popping up, so I've just been, I don't really know where anything is anymore. Oh, that's a shame, I ruined that one. Again, they haven't been here too long, so I'm not expecting tons of them. Just kind of weeding as I go and save time, really. So nice when you find them. It's like finding treasure, I think. I'm happy with that. Just from that small area that I had, and I did break a couple of good ones by a mistake. So yeah, then the other ones probably some of those will be ready to dig up, but it's just a case of when. So I decided to harvest some of my potatoes from here in the end. I just thought it would make the path a bit easier, and then with different plants spreading, I thought it would make a bit more space for things I'm growing to keep going throughout the summer. So this is the space I've got. I didn't want to dig all the potatoes up because obviously I don't need them all right now. So I got 2 tubs of them. So after I washed all my garlic, this is how it turned out. It's not the most perfect, but I think it's beautiful. And here are some of my peas. And tonight I made what I call allotment pasta. This has basically got beans, peas, courgettes, onion, garlic from my allotment, a little bit of yellow pepper that I had already, a little bit of vegetable stock, and then I topped with some cheese. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed having a little tour around of what I've been up to today. See you next time.